Hey foodies, welcome and welcome back to Cooking with Kiana. In today's recipe, I'm going to be showing you how to make this delicious, easy, and flavorful chicken and rice recipe. Okay, this is super simple. We're going to be making this in one pot, so it's a one pot meal. So if you guys are looking for something quick and easy to make for the family, this is the perfect recipe for you. Now let me go ahead and introduce these ingredients so we can get started with the recipe. So here are all the ingredients that you guys will be needing for this recipe. You can also go ahead and check the description box below. I will have a full list of ingredients listed there, as well as the full recipe. So you guys can go ahead and check that out. So first I'm going to start off with our seasonings. I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon of onion powder and 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of Lawrys seasoning and 2 teaspoons of complete seasoning, 4 cloves of fresh garlic chopped finely, 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 3 tablespoons of butter, 2 cups of white rice, make sure you wash that off first, half of a red bell pepper and an orange bell pepper, make sure you dice that up finely. For chicken thighs, obviously you want to make sure you wash those off and pat those dry. You can also substitute the chicken thighs for chicken legs as well. And I'm also going to be using 1 large onion that's diced finely and 4 cups of chicken broth. Okay, so first I'm going to start off by mixing all of my seasonings together. So I'm just going to go ahead and take all those seasonings and I'm going to transfer it into this bowl. Now you can skip this step if you would like to. I just always do this to make sure all of my seasoning is evenly distributed throughout, which makes the process much easier and faster when it comes to applying the seasoning and massaging that into your chicken. Alright, so now that I got all my seasonings in the bowl, you just want to go ahead and give that a good stir until those seasonings are well combined, and then we could get started on seasoning up our chicken. Okay, so right here I have my 4 chicken thighs. I just went ahead and drizzled a little bit of oil on there. Y'all all know, if y'all watch my videos, I always add a little bit of oil first before I season up any meat, just to make sure that seasoning really sticks to that meat. Okay, so when I use the seasoning, I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to reserve about a tablespoon of that seasoning. Set that aside because we will be using that later. Now just go in with clean hands. If you don't feel comfortable using your hands, you can use gloves, and just make sure you really massage that in. Make sure you get up under that skin. Make sure you get seasoning all over that chicken. Now once you're all done seasoning your chicken, it is time to move on to the searing process. So go ahead and grab a large skillet. Make sure you heat it on a medium to high heat, and then we're just going to go ahead and add in our chicken thighs. And you're going to make sure you add these in skin side down, making sure you leave some space in your pan and your chicken thighs are not touching. That way they can cook evenly. And you're going to cook them on each side for about 5 minutes. You just want to make sure you get a nice golden brown sear on there. Don't worry about cooking your chicken thigh all the way. We're going to do that later in the oven. But it's very important not to skip this step, because this process right here is going to make our dish have so much flavor. Once you sear that, it's going to lock in all that flavor and moisture. Not to mention, it's going to make a nice chicken base for our rice. So once you got your chicken nice and golden and it has a nice sear on it like you see right now, we're just going to go ahead and remove our chicken thighs. Now you're going to go ahead and add in your onions. Let that saute for about 2 to 3 minutes until they get nice and soft and translucent. Now add in your bell peppers and your garlic. Now you want to go ahead and give that a good stir for about a minute. Make sure you do not overcook your garlic because it will become bitter and burnt. So make sure the garlic is the last thing you add before the rice. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and add in that leftover seasoning. Remember when I told you guys to preserve about a tablespoon of that seasoning? So that's what we're going to use now to season up our vegetables. Now go ahead and give that a good stir until that is well combined. Once it is time to add in that rice. Before you guys add in the rice though, you want to make sure you rinse it off a couple of times just so you can get out some of that starch. Also because rice tends to be really dirty, so you want to make sure you wash it first. Now we're going to go ahead and give that a good stir. Let that toast for about 2 minutes. In the meantime, while that rice is cooking, you're going to go ahead and add in 3 tablespoons of butter, and you're going to keep stirring that until that melts. Once that has melted, you can go ahead and add in your 4 cups of chicken broth. And of course, you want to go ahead and give that a good stir. Make sure everything is all mixed together. And you want to make sure your fire comes up to a boil. Once it does come up to a boil, you're going to go ahead and add in your chicken thighs. Make sure you spread them out. Just gently place your thighs on top. Try not to be too rough with it because you do not want the chicken to sink to the bottom. Now I'm just going to go ahead and drizzle the remaining of the chicken juice over the top because I don't want to waste anything that is additional flavor. Now we're just going to go ahead and place foil on top. Make sure you close that tightly, and we're going to pop this in a 350-degree oven for about 35 minutes. After 35 minutes, you're going to remove the foil and you're going to cook it for an additional 10 minutes uncovered. And there you have it, my easy oven baked chicken and rice recipe. Hope you guys all enjoyed this recipe. If you did, you can find the full recipe in the description box below. When you do, be sure to leave a comment letting me know how the recipe came out. I just love to hear all your positive comments on my recipes. Make sure you guys subscribe for weekly recipes. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.